If you live in or near New York City, it is extremely important that you watch this video because it could literally change your life. I'm going to be going to New York City for in-person coaching for the first time ever. I've been doing boot camps now for over 4 years, but I've never gone to New York City, the biggest city in the country. And because it's such a big city, if you're someone who's been thinking about getting in-person coaching, doing a boot camp, you see how that could completely change your dating life for the rest of your life. If you've been thinking that, but you haven't pulled the trigger, this is the opportunity to do so. But keep in mind, because it's the biggest city in the country, the spots are going to be gone extremely fast. Now, if you don't know, what is a boot camp? Why would it be useful to join this program? It is a 3-day immersive experience where you're going to get 18 hours of in-person coaching with me. And the power of in-person coaching is that it gives you a level of leverage, a level of accountability, a level of skin in the game that you could never have on your own. Normally, the idea of going out to approach women, when you're new to it, when you're at a point where you're not getting amazing results, when you still have approach anxiety, when you still have some hesitance, when you're dipping your feet in the water and you're starting, it is extremely challenging. It is extremely difficult, and that is where most people fail. It is at the beginning. Maybe they try for 2 weeks, maybe they try for 3 weeks, but they tend to give up because they're not able to get past the critical mass where they're able to see some success. They'll approach a girl here, a girl there, but they don't do enough. They don't take enough action, get enough success to where the momentum starts to build and it becomes a snowball effect. A boot camp makes that 1,000 times easier. It makes getting past that initial phase where it is really difficult, where it is really stressful. It allows you to do that in hours instead of months, or in many cases, years. That is what a boot camp does, because the average person who takes my in-person coaching will approach over 100 women in the course of a single weekend. Now think about that. Most people who know about game, who know about pickup, they're not doing 100 approaches in a single year. And the majority of people who take a boot camp, they haven't been taking massive action before that point. They were stuck just like you might be. They were doing an approach here or there. They were taking a little bit of action, maybe even getting a little bit of success, or in many cases, they had never approached, or they were a virgin, or they were on a multi-year dry spell, and a boot camp changed that overnight. Because no matter how intense your anxiety is, no matter how difficult it has been up to this point for you to start approaching women, getting dates, getting laid, getting a girlfriend, whatever it is, no matter how difficult that is, when you come to an in-person coaching program, that will no longer be an issue. And that's partly because you're making a financial investment. It's also partly because you're going to be surrounded by other guys who are also taking action, which will make it feel normal to approach girls, to get numbers, and to get results. When you see me approach, or one of the other clients approach, it becomes that much easier to approach yourself. It's also partly because when you sign up for a coaching program and you meet me in person, it would be more awkward, it would be more anxiety provoking to not approach when I'm telling you to go approach than to just approach. It would actually feel weirder at that point when you're in that environment to not approach than to approach, which makes taking action 1,000 times easier than ever before. Most clients are over their approach anxiety. It's no longer something that holds them back within the first hour. And then I don't even have to tell them to approach. They see a girl and they're just going. And at that point, I'm focused on finding your blind spots. And if you don't know, a blind spot is something that you're not aware of that is preventing you from getting success. I had one client who would always approach girls from behind and grab their shoulder, and this freaked girls out, and like 80% of the girls he approached were instantly rejecting him. And he had no idea what was going on, but I filmed this happening. I demonstrated what it was like, and as soon as he was aware of what he was doing, I was able to give him a very easy solution as to how to approach better. And afterwards, most of the girls he approached were far more receptive. A very small tweak that he could have gone years without noticing made a drastic change in his results. I had another client who would talk to girls for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, even longer, and they were clearly into him, but he would never pull the trigger. He would never move things forward. So all I had to do while he was interacting is tell him, take her to the dance floor, mention that you're having an after party, do this, do X, Y, Z, And then he ended up pulling multiple girls during the program. He ended up getting laid multiple times, even though before he had never gotten laid from cold approach in his life. And we all have blind spots like that because we normally can't see ourselves from a third person perspective. But when you have a boot camp, you get that opportunity, not only because I'm observing you and helping you make adjustments, but also because I'll film your infield, I'll film your approaches, and then I will analyze it afterward the same way that I do on my channel. The default when someone takes a boot camp with me is that they make more progress in those 3 days than they had in the previous year. That is the expectation. That is what is standard. Now, what that means is going to be different for everyone. It doesn't mean you're going to be having threesomes with Victoria's Secret models on your boot camp if you're starting as a complete beginner. But it is common for men to lose their virginity, to go on multiple dates, to get laid multiple times during a boot camp. All of that is common, even if they were struggling before. Because when you take a boot camp, you can no longer maintain the identity of a dabbler, the identity of someone who's interested in pickup, interested in game, but you're not really committed to getting results. You're not taking it seriously enough to succeed. You don't have that option anymore. It prevents that from being a possibility. And after your boot camp, you get access to weekly group coaching calls to make sure that the progress you made is permanent, to make sure that you know that you are someone, if you want to get a date, you want to meet girls, you want to get laid, you know that you can do that. You know that you are in control and that you can go out for an hour, whether it's to a mall, to a bar, wherever, and that you will come back with results and that you will have success and that becomes a part of who you are permanently. And beyond that, you will also get a professional photo shoot that will literally 10 to 100x the amount of matches you get on dating apps. So even if you're getting no matches whatsoever, you're struggling, it feels like online dating is pointless, after the boot camp, you will experience a night and day shift in the amount of results, the amount of success that you get from dating apps. Now that's just scratching the surface of what's included in my New York boot camp. But if you're interested in joining the program, there are 2 links below you can click to take the next step. The first link will send you to a page where you can sign up for an online consultation to find out if you're a good fit for the program and to learn all the details. The second link is for anyone who wants to make absolutely sure that they do not miss this opportunity, as it will allow you to make a deposit to guarantee your spot. Because for example, my last Miami boot camp filled up within 48 hours of my announcement, and Miami is a much smaller city than New York, and I'd also been to Miami multiple times where this is literally the first time I'm doing a boot camp in New York. So I expect this to be full very soon. However, if you're not entirely sure whether this is a good fit for you, you can click the link below to sign up for a free consultation to learn more about the program. And I'll also add a link to some of my testimonials so you can see the kinds of results that other guys get when they take a boot camp.